And off we go from Denver. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former Buckeye, the young rookie QB from Ohio State.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Howard. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. George Pickens, his intended receiver there, but now it's 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Howard. And that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver. Fielded just inside the 30. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
And when you watch him play, everything just looks like it comes so naturally to him. When he's dialed in and finds that zone, passes are crisp, he sees the field really well, and he takes charge as the leader of this offense.
No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Harvey, and he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Harvey, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
1st down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Looking to throw. Nix. That is caught. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. T.J. Watt, the All-Pro, in there to take him down.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Operating from the gun. Nix, a short throw to Ingram. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. Back to throw. Nix. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's to the veteran. It's Robert Woods. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Looking to throw. Howard. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. Eluding the pull. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw out wide is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. To throw is Nix. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Nix from the shotgun. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Now a 2nd and 6. To throw, here's Nix. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. Here's Nix. He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
On 1st down, it's Harvey, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers, but in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 39. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Harvey, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. "38-yard line, 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Harvey, and he'll take this one down to the 36. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harvey. And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get him the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Now Lutz for the field goal try. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will make it 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
He's to midfield. Cordero Patterson on the loose. And he will score. Touchdown, Steelers. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Boswell good with the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game, the kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Broncos about set to go on offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
2nd down and 6 now. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harvey. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. Up the middle they go. It's Harvey. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Hey, we often talk about defensive ends setting the edge, sometimes even the outside linebackers. But how about here? This is a cornerback essentially setting the edge and finishing off that play for a loss.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
They toss it to Warren. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. That's a jet sweep into the hands of Metcalf. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 40. That one good for 16 as the drive continues. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, right at the 40. Back to throw. Howard. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. This is caught. It's Woods. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Second and goal from the 1. Looking to throw. Howard. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out as his guys are able to extend their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Extra point now by Boswell. And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Harvey. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Harvey. And he's going to have a Broncos 1st down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
On first down, it's Harvey. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. Second and 7. They'll go play action with Nix. 20! And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A gain there of 21 yards.
And this is where play action can be so effective. Your running game's been the driving force on this possession, so as a defense, you start shifting your focus towards stopping the run. But if an offensive coordinator sees that, he can take advantage, and they get good yardage there.
Throwing Nix. And that went to the right side and incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. That'll bring up 2nd down. Now a give right side. Harvey. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Nix. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him. Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 48. The kick by Lutz is good, and that'll get the lead down to 5. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. And now out come the Steelers. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. Now a handoff, Johnson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Back to throw. Howard. Open man there is Darnell Washington. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Now a 2nd and 2. Looking to throw. Howard. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Off the play fake. Howard. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. Here's a 2nd and 5. Nix to the air. Toward the sideline. He will have the 1st down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. A short throw to Ingram. Broke a tackle, but not much room there ultimately. Just up past the 25 and no further. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the 1st down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Working out of the gun is Nix. Finding Sutton on the out route, who makes the catch. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Nick's looking to throw again. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Steelers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
The Steeler offense set to regain possession. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 43. Throwing to start the drive. Howard. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. 2nd and 5. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. Howard. Now a screen set up for Johnson. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. Ouch, you thought you had the defensive stand. Roughing the passer wipes it out.
What does every defense talk about? 3 and out, right? Thought they were able to get off the field. Not so.
He'll find Metcalf. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Back to throw again. Washington's got it. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
They'll look to throw again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Dancing to his left. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Boswell's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. To throw is Nix. And his throw is incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. Looking to throw. Nix. He finds his man. Complete. It's Harvey. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches are giving, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
Now a 2nd and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Back to throw. Howard. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34.
A very nice job right there, working the middle of the field, able to create some separation and then utilize it to not just make the catch, but turn upfield once he got the ball in his hands.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, right at the 40. They try the left side with Johnson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Every team in the league always wants explosive plays, breakout plays, and even more so when it's your horse who's had a tough time during the game.
Yeah, not that great in the first half. Maybe he can recalibrate here in the 3rd and then carry that over to the 4th.
I like that. Recalibrate. Strong.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They go to Johnson again. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Well, the previous play went to the offense with a nice run, but that last play we just saw certainly went to the defense.
So you're keeping a little bit of a ledger there, aren't you?
Tally.
You know, somebody wins, someone loses. But you get this sense offensively,
They're continuing to probe around, trying to find the runs that are going to work, and then they'll go to them consistently.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Howard. And that is incomplete. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The football going back over to the Denver Broncos. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Throwing to start the drive. Nix. He'll find Sutton on the right side complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Second down and a little more than a yard here. Off the play fake. Here's Nix. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. Up the middle they go. It's Harvey, and he will have the Broncos 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Nix. Now they go screen. It's complete. Into space at the 45 and all the way up to the 46. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. To throw, here's Nix. And this one nearly picked off. Yeah, kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
And that is incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the 1st half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Denver. calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Now Howard throwing to start the drive. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be second down. Back to throw. Howard. And he'll get it right back to Washington. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Second down and a yard. Off play action. Howard. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 54 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Looking to throw. Howard. Now wasted time going right back to DK Metcalf. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Out to the flat here for Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. From 4 yards out, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Boswell for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And Denver getting set to take the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. They'll keep it on the ground. Harvey. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Harvey, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Denver. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Steelers offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. They begin the drive with Johnson. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Back to throw. Howard. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Howard now from the gun on third down. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Looking to throw. Howard. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
2nd and 10 now. Third quarter action in Denver. Operating from the gun. Howard. And that's going to be incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. "23 yards on the tuck and run." Three quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 64 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the fourth quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast, but sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you, and maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
Yeah, a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. Again, it's Johnson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on third and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. Third and goal from the 2. Operating from the gun. Howard looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on fourth and goal. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. Johnson kept out of the end zone on fourth down, and the Bronco defense comes up big. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a peep of protest out of them. That's just who they are.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
2nd and 5. Back to throw. Nix. He targets Ingram for another grab. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Looking to throw. Nix. He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And he will have a Broncos first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
That's just what you call a chain mover right there. Nothing fancy. Get the ball out to the back, and you're asking him to make a little bit extra out of maybe what is nothing, and he does exactly that, picks up the first down. I can't wait till we get to the point, partner, where we're not saying chain mover, but we're saying laser pointer picks it up for the first down.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Nix. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Nix to throw again. A short throw to Ingram, and a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Nix. A short throw to Ingram. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
They didn't need much. They didn't get much, but what they did get was enough for a first down.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. In that play, it wound up losing yardage.
And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10. Back to the air with Nix. Quickly into the hands of Mims. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Nix from the shotgun. He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing Nix. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 15-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun is Nix. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Second and 10. Here's Nix once more. A throw left sideline falls incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
In motion right goes Sutton. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. So 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down. They'll go for it. Here's Nix. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Nix to the air. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They'll try to run this one in, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Broncos drive the entire length of the field, 99 yards for the score. The 4th quarter touchdown there, back to a 2-score game, but time is not their ally.
No, it's not, partner. They still have a pulse, but it's probably a little weak right now. A lot of things have to go right in these final 2 minutes plus for them. I think they have to be thinking onside kick here, and we know how difficult those are to recover.
Lutz good on the extra point. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. The Steelers offense and DK Metcalf getting ready to go back to work. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game. Slot man moves right. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Defensively, no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on second down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, and then you stop that clock.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Back to throw. Howard. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Johnson running right. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Looking to throw. Howard. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the left hash, this from 46. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The home team's offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Now it's Knicks. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Knicks. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. One last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's never easy to come into Denver to win. You think all you have to deal with the altitude, but they got the job done.
Well, there's a reason Olympic athletes train nearby. All right, they've got a terrific training center in Colorado Springs. You train at the altitude, the lungs expand, you go down to the regular, oh my goodness, they can go all day. And in fact, a lot of visiting teams, when you visit Denver, you know what's printed in your locker room? Welcome to the Mile High City. The air is rare. They get in your head that way.
That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.